you guys mentioned the idea of, I think Leftface discussed, like, he was so surprised that the comic book industry is still even a thing at this point with the way the culture around it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys kind of got into the whole aspect of, like, you feel like you, or maybe like the generation after you, was the last generation to really be like comic book fans, for like to go out and buy them on a daily basis. And this is something I found kind of interesting, because I made it, I think I had like a big fucking like push in like my content journey within the last year, where I've been, nigga, since you, I'm gonna show you this shit.
Yeah.
Since you told me about a pull box and what that shit was, like last year, I have 2 fucking crates full of comics. That's one. And this one's like halfway there. 2 fucking crates full. And that's not accounting for the shit on my shelf, where I'm just like, I'll go get shit out of my pull box, and I'm like, let me see what's on this back wall real quick. What's back here?
Right?
Ooh, that looks cool. I'll read that too. And I'm just buying fucking comics up. Now, when I go to Twitter or anywhere else and I'm posting, like, letting people know, like, hey, if you want to see more stories about these characters or that character, go buy the comics. Like, you can go do this. And people are, the big responses I usually get are, one, I just don't have time. I don't know what my local comic book shop is. I don't have time to go get them. One person lied and said, oh, they're expensive. And I'm like, bro, I know you're lying, because that's why I spend so much fucking money, because individually they're cheap as shit. But when I buy 25 books at one time, now I'm spending 70 bucks at the fucking comic book shop. What do you feel like are the biggest barriers, in your opinion, for maybe something that you've seen? Because I know you have some younger children as well, that are like barriers for youth kind of staying in having that passion for comic books.
So one thing I've noticed is that, like, for a lot of readers, it's really difficult for them to find, like, younger readers, I mean. I've come to find that it's difficult for them to find stories that resonate with them, because, you know, you're talking about characters that have been around since, like, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, 80s. So, like, for my kid, who, like, of the 2 children that I have, my stepson and my main, I guess like the, my biological kid, of the 2 of them, only one of them ever actually like had an interest in like Western comics. Like, they both like manga, but like my youngest, they are the only one between the 2 that even has like a passing interest in, like, you know, just Western comics. And like, they started having like a huge interest, like they really loved Spider-Man, they really loved Venom, and like, you know, Wolverine, stuff like that. But like, yeah, as they've gotten older, you know, they kind of like, and kind of the same way I was when I was, you know, kind of closer to their age, when I discovered like anime and manga, I was like, yeah, man, screw this other stuff over here, I'm more interested in this right now. But like, when you find stories that like talk to them, that like have, like, case in point, when I took my kid to the shop and I was like, hey, you know, you want to look through some books? And it was like their first real instance of being in a comic shop. I was like, hey, you know, I was like, yeah, because they were scared. They were like, oh, I don't know if I can touch the books. I was like, yeah, you can pick the books up and look at them. And so they picked them up and they started looking at them. And then when they were kind of overwhelmed because there was a lot of stuff. So I recognize that my kid has very particular interests. So I started just pointing out, hey, you really like this type of thing, look at that. And then I've also kind of found with my kid, the canary in the coal mine for them on whether or not they're going to be interested in a book, does it have gay shit in it? And if it does, they're in. Doesn't care who it is. Like, like I was like,
I thought I was going to go a whole different way. I was like, damn,
oh no.
That's crazy.
Oh no. My kid is, yeah, well, they're still pretty young. They've kind of firmly cemented themselves as being non-binary bisexual.
Right.
But like, at the same time, when they saw the DC Pride collection where it had like all the previous DC Prides in it, they saw that rainbow going down the side of the book and they're like, ooh, and they picked it up and I was like, and they was like, ooh, what's this? And I was like, I said, oh, this is just a bunch of random stories about, LGBTQI plus characters at DC. And they're like, can I get this? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, but before that, I showed them Poison Ivy. And I was like, because I was like, hey, I was like, you want to check out Poison Ivy? And they were like, I was like, Poison Ivy's gay. And they were like, okay, cool. And they picked up all the issues that was up there for Poison Ivy. And they were like, do I have to put the Poison Ivy back because I got DC Pride? And I was like, it's like, what kind of father I look like? I said, I was like, you better put them shits up on the counter.
Hey, we balling the fuck out. Don't you know I got money now? The fuck?
I was like,
bitch, we getting 100.
Yeah, I was like, man, look, we out
now.
I was like, get. I was like, let's go. Look, and the thing is, so for me, when they saw themselves like represented, and they're like, oh, because I was even pointing out when they were looking at the DC Pride book, I was like, oh, hey, I was like, oh, so yeah, I was like, this character here, I was like, oh, that's Dreamer. I was like, Dreamer's a trans character. I was like, here's John Kent Superman. I said he's bisexual. I was like, oh, here's Poison Ivy and Harley. I was like, they're lesbian. I was going down the line, and they were just like, it was like, it was almost like it was like that shit in Doctor Strange where like where Doctor Strange like looking up, he's like, teach me. Like that's basically how my kid was looking at me, because like when I was just like breaking down who all these characters were, and they were like, oh, and I was like, oh yeah, and by the way, this is a Green Lantern. I said, here's Joe Mullen, who is I was like, she I said they recently kind of doubled down on her being lesbian recently, and see this. So yeah, it's just, you just have to find the interest. I think you just, and I think if parents take the chance to like actually figure out what their kids like, I think that they will have, at least if they're people who have kids they want to get into comics, I think if you just take the time to try and fully understand what attracts your child to something, doesn't matter if it's superficial or not, as long as it gets them to the dance. As long as it gets them to the dance. Like, it could be something as simple as they like people who wear red shorts. Oh, well, that's crazy. Oh, did you know Superman wears red shorts? Does, and then there you go, you're in. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, but you need to focus on younger readers, figure out what they like, get it in front of them, and show them that there's more out there.
Part of me feels like, I guess you can stop me if you feel like I'm wrong here. Well, you may feel like I'm right, but as somebody who I didn't get as many entire runs as a kid, because one, mom was not taking me to no comic shop for real. Two, I think most of my comic book access came from me going to the military base growing up, and they would do this thing to where if you had good grades in your report card, they'd give you a coupon book, and one of them in there was a free magazine. And because comics counted as magazines at that point in time, I get a free comic book every good report card I had. And what fucked me up though is that would be spaced out like 6 months apart or every semester. So I would go, and the next issue for the book I wanted wouldn't fucking be there. So like I remember growing up, and again when I was getting really big into Green Lantern, I was reading the Blackest Night run that they were doing. It will fuck me up because I would get like the Sinestro, I think the Sinestro, the novelization.
Sinestro Core War.
It started with the Sinestro Core War. I got it over here somewhere, put up in a box. I would have that one, and I would come back like 4 or 5 months later, and it'd be like Larfleeze. I'm like, who the fuck is this? We were just over here with Sinestro. Where are we at now? The run was starting to be so spaced out, and even that was tough. So now going into being an adult now, and I'm making it a point I want to collect. Okay, I want to read all of Blood Hunt when that drops, and I'm looking at all the fucking tie-ins for this Blood Hunt story, and how 80 to 90% of these tie-ins don't support this main story whatsoever. But you promote this thing as being Blood Hunt in its predatory practice. So I feel like I have to buy this to stay up to date on what's going on. And as an adult, that pisses me off. So I can only imagine being a kid and having a parent who doesn't know, and now I'm begging my mom for this book. I get the book, and it's not the story I was trying to read. I don't know why. Maybe again, you probably have more information. I don't know why that became such a thing to where I understand tying in a side story or another character into a big event to try to get people to get more eyes on that character. But for you to like just throw the motherfuckers in there like they're extra DLC and then not be transparent on what it is that's, I'm like, okay, this is where we're gonna lose fans at, because fans feel like they're getting a lot of shit that they don't want to read, and you give them something
Yeah.
like I remember when I was looking at the promotion for Blood Hunt, nigga, I thought that was the promotion for the Marshall Ali blade that was coming out.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, so that shit
You weren't
everywhere.
alone. You weren't alone. There were a lot of people. My mom thought that. My mom like hit me up and was like, "Is this there's I saw some on Facebook about some Blade movie. He's supposed to be fighting all the Marvel heroes. Is that real?" Because I remember she used to tell me like when she would get caught by them fake trailers sometimes. So like
Mhm.
so when I told her what to look out for, she saw it. She was like, "Is that what that is?" I was like, "No, no." I said, "That's for a comic," and she was like, "Oh." She's like, "They make trailers for comics?" I was like, "Yeah, they do sometimes." But I'll tell you what, I'll give you two things here off top that'll blow your mind. One, if you're a person who wants to check out comics, you could sometimes I think some of them will let you buy them, but you can also just check them out if you just don't you have the space. Your local library. Yeah, your local library has tons of comics, probably. I remember talking to some people not too long ago. They were telling me that's how they caught up. I know Carter has told me that on the Blur Cave. He's told me as well that like he's read entire runs of comics just by virtue of going and picking up the trades from the library, reading them, and then just bringing them back eventually. But I will also say too to kind of add an addendum to figuring out what shit you can get with. Another thing that actually helped get my my kid back into Western comics was My Hero Academia because that's their favorite anime,
Mhm.
and they used to hate it when I would do this. But like eventually it kind of got them back to the dance because like I'd be like, "Oh, you see that character right there? Do you know who that character is supposed to be?" And they'd be like, "Who?" I'd be like if let's say for let's say
The All Might.
just like yeah, if you take like All Might or something like that, I'd be like, "Oh, yeah," and they would figure it out easy. Like a lot of them, they would usually be able to guess. But I was like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
All Might's supposed to kind of be like he's like Superman. He's like kind of he's like Superman with kind of like the American." Like the whole like American vibes, like the whole way he looks like a more American hero than most Japanese heroes. I was like, it's kind
Mhm.
of a little bit of Captain America, but really just more Superman than anything else. Or I would be like, oh, if you look at a character like Deku. I was like, Deku was supposed to be Spider-Man. I said, look at how he moves and the way he does his little finger stuff. I was like, that's because Spider-Man is one of the creators' favorite superheroes. And they used to hate when I would do this because it would always make them feel like My Hero Academia wasn't original. But when I explained
Mhm.
it, like, yeah, the guy who made My Hero Academia, he's a huge nerd for like Western comics. He loves the Avengers and Spider-Man and X-Men and Batman and Superman. So that kind of like was the gateway drug to get them back in. And when the closer we've gotten to the end of My Hero Academia, it's actually refueled their interest in American comics. Because like Japan doesn't make a lot of superhero stuff like that. So I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
I said, if you want to see more stuff like this, you have to get it from over here. This is the source or whatever. And that's like that's like I said, once again, you just have to find the gateway. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from though, like on the you're just like, where are we gonna be with this stuff? Because we're kind of at a point right now where the industry could literally go away tomorrow. No, I'm not even joking when I say that. I've talked to people about that. I've talked to people about the possibility that this time tomorrow, this time next week, whatever, we could literally see breaking news, comic industry gone. It could happen any moment. But but to what you said about books not being tie-ins, like being proper tie-ins, I've talked to writers who have literally told me that, like, yeah, they put that shit on my book. I didn't ask for it. Like,
Mhm.
I was talking to Joe Casey about his Weapon X-Men book, and his book had One World Under Doom slapped on it. And I remember when I asked him about it, I was like, oh, so how is this going to tie into One World Under Doom? And he was like, it doesn't. He was like, I didn't want that on there. He was like, I didn't want that on there, but they made me. He's like, they said I had, because basically, like, I was like, oh, well, there's this one thing that's going on with Hydra over in the main One World Under Doom book, and like you're kind of doing something with Hydra over here. And he was like, nope, it's a coincidence. He was like, nope, whole coincidence. He said literally, he said, I fought to get that shit off of there.
Jesus Christ. And it's mostly the only issue I see with Marvel and DC. I mean, there are other tie-ins for other places too, but for the most part, when I'm reading,
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot of fucking Image comics lately, a lot of the horror stuff, just because I'm a horror fan. Like, fashion. I'm a fashion school
Oh,
serial
I'm a
killer.
fashion school serial
I'm
killer.
in love with
Yes.
that fucking run right now. I love that fucking story.
Check out their other books because they're all a part of the same universe.
Really?
Yeah, the main character of I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer, that's not the first book she's been in. She was in another book called Vinyl before that. And it kind of leads into her going to where she's at now. You actually get to see her it's her and it's her hanging out with a bunch of other serial killers.
Shit, hey, hey, you got me now. I got a couple things I got to do tonight now. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, damn, this is fucking sick.
Materials. Look up the materials series because it's plastic, vinyl, plush, and then there's I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer, and I think there's one more that I'm forgetting about.
Yeah, because I've seen the promo for I think plastics at the end of each issue. Because I think we're in issue 4 or 5 now.
Like 4, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so like those, and then from now we've already talked about Absolute Comics a couple times now. Like I'm in love with the fact, each week I can get excited. Like I'm ready as fuck for Absolute Bane again whenever that shit drops again. Like I know the next time something drops for this story, I know my story is continuing. It's almost like I'm watching a Saturday morning cartoon. But the tie-ins just like again, I understand the concept, but I'd rather you just write that character or that story you want in, just write that into the story somehow, than you just throw, hey, Union Jack the Ripper is part of Blood Hunt. Who the fuck is this? Why do I care about this nigga? I don't care. I have 4 or 5 issues of this nigga in my box, and I don't want him. I bought him and I don't want him now. It's pure collector's items at this point.
Yeah, no, I totally. That's why, like a lot of the times when it comes to events, I always tell people stick to the core book. And I said, unless it's a book you were already reading, don't worry about it. Like if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, you were already reading. Okay, let's say there's a new Batman crossover, but you were already reading Batman, and you were maybe already reading I don't know, Detective Comics, and let's say there's a Red Hood book, which technically there is coming up, but let's say there was a Red Hood book, and the Red Hood book is a tie-in. If you weren't already reading Red Hood, don't go out of your way to read that shit. Because honestly, a lot of the times it's just a gateway drug to pick. That's what tie-ins really are. They're a gateway drug to catch people slipping who are already going to read that book to get them to go read the other ones. It's rarely ever not anymore. It used to be kind of that way. We're like, yeah, this actually is tied in. But these days, no. It's for a while, honestly, if you see a tie-in, it's just there.
And I'm like, are they actively making money? Because my only thought process on why they would keep doing this for so long is that it's actually making them profit. So I'm like, are they making enough money off of all these tie-ins to warrant them possibly alienating an entire their entire fan base?
Yeah, because people are suckers. People is it's one of the. It's kind of like because someone asked me the other day, what was it they said? Why does Marvel hate Spider-Man fans so much, and why do they keep doing all this stuff that Spider-Man fans don't want? And I said the answer to that is simple: because y'all keep buying the book. Y'all will go online and complain about the book, but y'all also gonna go in every Wednesday and buy the book. So I was like, y'all are the problem. I said, honestly, at this point, I don't blame Marvel. I blame y'all. I'm like, no, that's if you have been reading Spider-Man for 20 years, and that entire 20 years you just bitching and complaining that you hate this direction, and you're still buying the book, that's a you thing. That's why I always tell folks, I'm like, man, if you don't like it, cut the book off, stop it, don't read it no more, don't stay for the kids. Don't try and keep the marriage going for the kids.
Fuck them kids.
Just cut them off. Cut them off. Be like, look, man, be like, hey, Spider-Man, I'm gonna still be in your life, but I got to leave.
Yeah, I'll call you next Tuesday though. We'll go get ice cream.
Yeah, man. I'll come. Yeah, I'll come see your game. Okay, and I'll take you to the arcade or something. I don't know, but I just can't be with your mama no more. That's honestly how I treat a lot of books. I did that with the X-Men. I was like, dude, I don't like these books, so I'm not gonna talk about these books that I don't like because I don't fucking like them. Why am I torturing myself? Look, hi Chief, you ain't shit. I'm gonna go tell you right now, you ain't shit.
Yeah,
I totally. But I feel you. I feel you because I've done that before.
I feel so because I go to the same comic shop and I'm like, damn, I don't want to piss these people off. I go to the same shop and I've already like asked them like when I get my book done, they're like, yeah, bring a copy. I'm like, we'll sell it in here for you. I was like, let me not fuck up. I give myself like a 3-page maximum. We're like, okay, I'll flip through 3 pages. All right, fuck it, we'll go. We'll take this and go.
Most of them know. Most of like the shops I do go to, most of them know who I am, so they know that like they know I'm gonna spend some money regardless.
Right,
but they
right.
also know that I don't buy single issues very often. Like I mean, unless it's like something I'm like into, but like because a lot of the times I get sent shit or like I can get previews of stuff ahead of time. So a lot of times I don't really just outright need like that. So like I don't buy. I mean I don't really buy DC books anymore just because they just give me previews to them. But like for Marvel, like I'll go in and buy like some Marvel stuff. I'll go in and like if it's not like there's certain like Image and IDW stuff that I'll go in and still get. But like they know like, oh yeah, he's like when Gods came out, when Gods was a thing, they knew I wasn't buying. Like if they watched me pick up the book in the shop, they knew I wasn't buying it. They knew I was just reading it in the shop, and they were like, yeah, it's fine.
Jesus Christ. I ain't gonna lie. That's comic shops is the one place where I'll feel like I'm that nigga for real. Because I think I went in to buy like I was buying something the other day, and these 2 college students came in, and you could tell they were just buying like whatever cool art they saw to put on like there. He do let me know. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna put it on my wall for my college dorm or whatever else. It was some Superman issue that he didn't have the bread for it. I was like, because he bought a shirt and something else and he couldn't afford the book. And I was like, how much is that? It's like $3.99. Get my nigga his shit, man. I got you. Go ahead. Get my man his shit. He's like, oh, thank you so much. And I'm like, nah, bro, you got it, bro. It's all good. See, hey, if I got the money, we got the money. You know what I mean? It's,
right.
Hey, man. It ain't tricking if you got it. Yeah, come on now.
I mean, look, like I'm just saying, and like I said, I've done that before. Like sometimes I'll pay it forward. I'll tell people all the time, man, like, yeah, man, get my guy's books right here. But like, it just depends on like, when, and I gotta like you at least a little bit. You can't be one of them like smelly motherfucker, like smelly incel motherfuckers. I can't do that for you. I'm not out here trying to perpetuate nothing. But yeah, no, I think that that's the most important part of comics is building the community and keeping the community strong and tight knit and getting people to look out for each other, because you never know, that guy might go and pay it forward. He might go back like, man, old boy got my book the other day, hey, I'm gonna get your book, and then pay that shit forward. Like you know what, do that shit like Starbucks. That's why I always tell people, do that shit like Starbucks, where like you pull up and they be like, hey man, so-and-so got so-and-so ahead of you got your order, so yeah your shit for you today. And you're like, oh, okay, well man, get that motherfucker behind me, man. Look, what he getting? What he got in his box, man? He got a
right.
Yeah, he got a Mr. Terrific year 1 in there. Yeah, man, go ahead and get that Mr. Terrific for him right quick.
Yeah, let me get that shit real quick.
Especially if it's a black book. If it's a black book, I'll be like,
oh, I have been on the hunt. I made it a point to, and this is last side tangent thing I'll do before you're ready to close up out of here. I made it a point to try to build up my collection of Black excellence in regards to famous Black characters or Black writers. Because a long time ago, one of my best friends, shout out to my guy Alec, I've known this nigga since like the 7th grade. He spent some bread at an auction and got me the first issue of Static, like the original first issue. This is probably like my favorite thing that I fucking own in my collection.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love this thing so much. I don't know how much he spent for this. I doubt he spent a crazy amount because the nigga, we were like fresh out of fucking high school, so I know we were both broke. But he spent bread and got it for me for my birthday. And I made it a point, just whenever I go to the comic shop, I'll look for different things I can get. I think I saw the other day 2 options. One was the Ultimate Fallout. I think the first appearance of Miles Morales. I was like, oh yeah, let me get that shit real quick. She was like $600. I was like,
ooh. I go hold you. I'd be like, man, Miles got to stay on the shelf. He got to stay on the shelf.
Oh, he stayed on the fucking shelf. That shit did not come on with me. And I think the only other thing in there that I saw that I really wanted to get, because this is part of my like trying to think forward mind. I'm like, Freeby's coming out in a couple weeks. Let me get her first appearance in the Invincible Iron Man stuff in part 2. Because it was like $20. I'm like, nigga, $20 for her first appearance? Give me this shit real quick. So it's stuff like that where I'm like, I think the main thing really keeping this shit alive, obviously, is like the movies and the animated series that are reigniting a lot of new fans' passion for this stuff. So as many gripes and issues I have with DC or the MCU, I'm like, at bare minimum, they're keeping this shit alive for a lot of different people that would not give this shit a chance at all, or people that have checked out or are loosely following it.
The turnover, I think, isn't as strong as I would like to see it, but I do believe there is turnover where we're like getting people to go like, oh, well, yeah, I checked out this movie. Maybe I will check out a Superman book. Maybe I like Riri Williams. I might go check out, see if she's got a book out, or maybe go, look at something. Yeah, and I think those things, like, I know when people realized who Zelma was, and people were like, ooh, where can I find her? Like, what is she in?
Oh, nigga, I'm ready for Strange. I remember we were talking about Strange Academy when Blunt was going on. Nigga, I'm ready. Give me that shit now. I need Kid Dormammu with my fucking life again.
Yes. Look, hey, give me. Look. I'm ready to see Doyle do a little something. I'm saying, man. Look, man. I ain't mad. Look, give me Zoe Laveau. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. But again, before we get ready to get up out of here, I have one announcement. But is there anything you have coming up that you want to plug? Anything on the channel? Any videos that you want people to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I mean, I do a little series that I'm still kind of like on the fence about. We'll see how it goes. But I have a little series I do called Best Comics This Week, where I take the five best comics I read all week and do a little brief overviews of them and talk about stuff going on in the industry. We'll see how long that lasts. I've been doing it for at least, I think, 3 or 4 months now, and it's fun to do. But it's but yeah, go show that some love, because if you want to learn more about comics that aren't just like the same shit everybody's talking about, you'll be more likely to see those books on that show. And then just any of my other like videos, whatever. Tune in Thursdays, Nerds of Culture, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and then Saturdays, Blurred Cave, every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And I drop videos throughout the week a lot of times. So I mean, just hit the bell. And turn on all notifications. Don't do some, do all, because YouTube is notorious. That shit. Yeah, if you say you just want some is next to none. You may as well say no. Like, honestly, if you click the bell and you let it stay on the default some, just go ahead and put it on none, because you ain't gonna get any anyway. It's everyone, everything, or bust.
This shit. I'm just like, bro, how does this shit work? I'm subscribed to my own channel from a different account, and I will click upload here and not get the alert on my fucking phone. I'm like, nigga, how?
Nah, same.
Oh, I'm right here. But yeah, man, I've watched the footage on because I was probably gonna steal that idea. I'm not gonna lie, of like going over the weekly issues I've been reading, because I was starting to get a little fatigued from like covering each issue. Because initially I was like, oh, I grew up watching you and fucking Rob do the walkthroughs issue by issue. I don't know how Rob does that shit every week for like 20 minutes, like page by page. I was
man,
I can do it, but the return on investment is not it for me right now. I will come back to that if people ask for it. But if I can do like a quick rundown, he's got
video editors, that's why. Yeah, he's got video editors, that's why.
Hell, I got video editors. It's the recording that annoys the fuck out of me. I ain't gonna
yeah.
Even with my one editor, I'm like, nigga, me spending 30 minutes, and sometimes I feel like I'm just rambling. And what fucks me up even more if it's like over an issue that has like a lot of history and depth. I'm like, nigga, I did not read Mr. Terrific 1964. I'm not aware. I'd be like, well, if you remember this, I'm like, y'all can go to Rob for that. Yeah, I'm not the guy for that. I don't have that. That's not in my bag. I have to do research. I don't want to have this shit in the back of my fucking mind like that.
See, I just have a really stupid memory. Like, I remember dumb stuff that's like not important. So if I read something once, I won't say I have perfect recall of it, but like I can talk about it like without having to do any like prep. But a lot of times, if you
Mm.
see me talking about something very detailed, it's because I did research. I
I'm,
had to.
I'm,
That's why my videos always come out after everyone else. Is because like I actually took the time.
because I'm like, I gotta speak. I'm like, I gotta speak to this. I gotta get this. I think that's the one downside to being like up and comer is like I feel like I have to fucking get this stuff out as soon as it fucking comes out. I'm gonna get washed out by all the niggas that have the platforms already because we're gonna go to there first, and maybe it'll trickle their way down. But it is what it is. But that being said, before we closed out, obviously there are the general sentiments of, again, for people that are here for the first time, that maybe came over from Ernie's channel or people that just discovered the stream. Again, I am Captain Diesel. I cover a lot of nerd stuff from comics, cartoons, video games, all that good stuff, video essays, all that good stuff. And if you guys would like to, are interested in conversations like this or any other videos I have going on, please subscribe. Like Ernie said, hit everything, because if not, you guys won't see anything I fucking put out. And just, be on the lookout for stuff I have going on. And if you want particular things from me, you guys can let me know through the comment section, or also on the channel. I have my Discord link there as well, to where a lot of people can reach out to me and have a genuine conversation about what you want from me. Because again, I'm trying to curate the channel to the content that the people want from me, and while also having fun with it at the same time. So trying to find that fine balance. So closed mouths don't get fed around here. And before we get ready to let loose, I do want to take the time to at least announce formally for people that are here. So if you're here, you'll get the big scoop. Your boy I finally jumped off the porch, jumped in the deep end, and spent time in creating my own original comic book. I've spent an absorbent amount of money to get this stuff done. I made it a point to make sure that I had professionals working on my book so that my first attempt looked really well. I got shout out to Julia Gilazzo. I'm butchering her last name. Beautiful, intelligent, talented Italian lady. She's worked with some Image. She's done Image and Dark Horse stuff. And I think just recently got the opportunity to do some Marvel stuff as well. She is immensely talented, and I have a bunch of other great people working on stuff. But for people that are interested, here is just the cover, one of the cover arts that will have. I still haven't decided what's going to be the main cover, what's going to be the variant covers for my debut comic that is called Reaper. I could sit down and give you guys the whole rundown on what it's about, but I still got to get that together. Oh my God, this shit is fucking crazy big on the screen right now. Let me shrink this shit down. Oh my God. You know what? We'll just do this. We'll do this here. We'll just shrink this shit down. OBS does not like me, y'all. My bad. I should have had this shit like prepped and ready to go. It just occurred to me like I should probably tell people about this shit. And now I'm gonna awkwardly sit here and shrink this shit down. Jesus Christ.
There you
why
go.
Why was it so big?
You will it let you like do like a fit the screen transform?
I saw it and didn't do it.
But
here it is in its glory. Yeah, this is one of the cover art for my stuff. So again, if you are interested in like the next month or so, I'll have it fully colored out and fully done. So yeah, y'all give it a look if you're interested. If not, suck me then. Cool.
Hey man, it be like that sometimes, man. It be like that.
Childhood dream coming true. This is on my bucket list of things. So yeah, it'll be debuting soon in a couple months, and then I'll be jumping to each convention, BlurredCon, DreamCon throughout the year. Hopefully with Blurred, and I'll be pushing it out like crack in the 80s to people that wanna give it a look see. And Ernie, side question: are you going to any cons this year? Are you going outside?
I hate going to cons. I'm not gonna hold you.
You gotta go to BlurredCon at least, bro. All the real niggas go to the BlurredCon.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. BlurredCon, I'm gonna tell you what. And I don't care who hears it. Man, when I talked to them last time about how they were saying like, oh yeah, we don't invite people out as guests, or or unless you're like we don't do that. And I was like, first off, I know you lying because I've talked to people who have done that for. But then like the dude who I think was supposed to be like the coordinator on that shit, he was getting really like he was getting real aggro with me. So like online, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of make me not want to go. Like you actually, like I say, you don't just make me not want to go. You make me want to talk shit about your con, like spitefully, like you want me to be on some like, oh yeah, man, fuck these motherfuckers. So yeah, that I'll probably never go. I'll probably never go unless someone from there like says, hey, we're gonna like bring you out, I'm not paying to go to BlurredCon. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Well, I'll
I'm
talk to
not
Real
paying
for you. I'll
money.
see. Also, I'll see if Real can like talk to somebody to work that out.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, 'cause I don't think that I've seen too many like comic book creators like you or Rob like go to too many. I think Rob goes to like San
he
Diego
goes to
Comic
New
Con.
York. He goes to
Yeah,
New
or like
York
New
and
York.
San
Yeah,
Diego. Yeah, which I mean,
yeah.
I would do those, but that's like because I mean they're those. But like, yeah,
Right.
BlurredCon, yeah, they got to do right by me for me to come out. I'm sorry, it just is what it is.
So if you in here, nigga, let's talk. We got to get Ernie out there. But yeah, y'all, this has been another episode of the Captain's Lounge. Again, for anybody that is new, the Captain's Lounge is more so like my live stream podcast type format where I bring on dope people and we have dope conversation, you know, at an elevated Negro level. If it's a white person, then we just hell, they'll I don't know. I'm just fucking rambling at this point. Again, this has been Captain Diesel, Blur Without Fear. I need everybody to remember forever and always. And of course, my fucking soundboard does not work at the exact moment I need it to work. I'm cooked. Hold on. Now we're gonna get this shit off today. You're not gonna hold me today. Remember, forever and always. Oh no, fuck me then. It's cooked. I'm cooked.
it's a no.
Whatever. Next time. All right, y'all. Peace out.